So like you, I'm going through the emotions right now. Minnesota fighting Vikings consciously uncoupling with star defensive end Everson Griffen as he signs with the dirty-ass Dallas Cowboys of Arlington. So now, whenever a star, beloved player leaves a team, the blame game goes around, right? So the fans take sides. It's basically like a divorce, and we're just all the kids. Blame mommy, daddy drinks, that whole thing, right? So I think this is a spot, though, where there really is no blame. And you do see the POV from each side, even though I am a little miffed that the Vikings didn't just shell out the money. But money-wise, the Dallas Morning News is reporting that it's a one-year deal, up to $6 million, $3 million base salary with $3 million in incentives. Now, with this weird off season, it was one of the main reasons why Everson Griffin wasn't signed much earlier in the process, like a traditional free agent. Frankly, I think if this is a normal off season, he probably would have gotten some decent coin, as teams could have brought him into the facility, worked him out, interviewed him, did that whole thing. So this is, I mean, it is what it is at this stage. Like, taking what he can get. It is a one-year prove-it deal, potentially making some more money with the Cowboys or possibly in free agency if he does well this year. And I think he could. Like, even at 32 years of age, he certainly does have a lot to give a team. Now, we have been told that the Vikings, they offered Everson a better deal. So now I just don't want to put that caveat in there of, quote unquote better. So this is what we were told, quote, higher base, limited, no incentives, under 6, end quote. So with that, for example, the Vikings could have offered Everson a 1-year, $4 million deal with no incentives, or a 1-year, $4 million deal with like $1 million in incentives. Either way, came up short of that total of 6. So even though the Vikings potentially offered him a higher base salary, which technically would be a better offer than the $3 million base that the Cowboys are giving. Like, unless they're astronomically obtuse incentives, Everson will likely get plenty of playing time. He'll likely hit those incentives. So it would make sense why he would see the Cowboys as a better offer, where he is betting on himself. But black and white numbers, the Vikings potentially offered more. Okay, well, it's not exactly the spit in the face like if the Vikings were offering $10 million. Guaranteed. That doesn't make a lot of sense. So fully understand what Everson did here, and we're told that potential deal with the Vikings has been on the table since the spring, and has not budged. And like we said, I think Spielman drew a line in the sand. It's like, Everson, we do want you back. We'll counteroffer here and there, but that's really all we can do. Like, he did go full Rick Ponstar. The best I can do is $5. And even the posturing of the Packers, the Vikings just didn't budge, right? And frankly, I am a little miffed that the Vikings didn't at least match the deal. Like, honestly, I could have easily lived with the 1-year, $6 million deal flat. I mean, no incentives, but the 1-year, $3 million base, $3 million incentives. Like, you couldn't come up with $4 million base and 2 incentives. Like, you couldn't do that. I mean, you do have the cap to do that, but at the end of the day, they didn't want him back because if they did, they could have done it. But, we're too stubborn for a few pennies. But also from the other side, I do understand from the cap situation, the Vikings are going to need that cap space in 2021, as well as all the new young talent that you brought in, that Andre Patterson is going to coach up and develop. Afadio Denebo is ready to be a starter in this league. He's a stud at the right defensive end spot. He is good to go there, as well as DJ Wanham, James Lynch, Kenny Willekes, the young guys. Like, Everson, even though he certainly could bring a lot to the table, slowing down the march of time and sort of impeding their progress. Is that what you want to do? Well, Zimmer is obviously not happy here, but also, I mean, Zimmer wants everyone back. I mean, Zimmer wants everyone back except for Xavier Rhodes. That's basically it with Zim, so you do understand there. But also, I put minor fault with the team. I don't blame Everson at all. It was a strictly business decision. The Vikings defensive line is crowded, and also he wasn't guaranteed his same gig as he's accustomed to. So I understand. You have that monster opportunity in Dallas. You can spank it hard this year and then hit free agency next offseason and get paid if it's more normal. So honestly, if you have an ounce of bad blood towards Everson, you're an idiot. You absolutely are. So this is not a acrimonious parting of ways. There should not be a bad word uttered about Everson. Well, frankly, there shouldn't ever be a bad word uttered about a player. We're going to burn their jerseys. We're going to show them I'm going to burn my private personal property. Face. Yeah, okay. But with Dallas, I mean, they do have that monster opening at right defensive end. DeMarcus Lawrence is a stud. He plays on the left side. So Everson can walk in there, doesn't even have to switch sides. And Dallas otherwise is just relying on Aldon Smith, which you can call Aldon Smith a lot of things. Reliable is not one of them, as well as who knows what's going to happen with Randy Gregory. Their new defense coordinator, Mike Nolan, came in with Mike McCarthy. They both spent some time together in San Francisco. Now, he's typically a 3-4 guy. But with the personnel as well as with George Edwards in place as a defensive assistant, I mean, they're likely going to stick with the 4-3 over front primarily, which they've done for the past number of years. Of course, Edwards is very familiar with that with his time here in Minnesota. And, with the weird offseason and with the existing personnel, I think that's the route they're going to go. So Everson, he sort of lucks out where he gets not a great deal, but a deal with decent incentives that he's likely going to be able to hit, as well as he doesn't have to switch sides. He comes into a very familiar scheme for him, and he's just going to be amazing. I think that Everson Griffin has a great chance to do extremely well with the Cowboys, except for Week 11. F him. That is all. But other than that, I'm rooting for Everson Griffin minus Week 11, minus the playoffs. Although Cowboys ain't making the playoffs, let's be honest here. So there you go. But yeah. It's over. It's true. One of the great Vikings, one of the most fan favorites, just gone. It's over. There you go. All right, but your thoughts. Everson turned down a better offer from the Vikings. Let us know in the comments section below. Subscribe from Daily Vikings Takes. You want to support that work, pull some of the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.